Welcome back to the second hour of the Amazon's podcast. And so glad you guys hung out. Sherry Priami, if you missed it, she's going to do the Portugal Pro here on 7 July in hopes of qualifying for the Olympia. And then we'll see what happens from there. My guest is Jamie Hart. She's an NPC women's bodybuilder, and she's getting ready to go for her pro card. Jamie, how are you? For those who don't know you, tell us, who is Jamie Hart?
I'm Jamie Hart. I have been competing now. This is my third season. I am 41 years old and I have 4 kids between my husband and myself. I work full time and I'm just a diehard gym fanatic. I love to lift. I love to lift heavy. I love to push my body to the limits. And I think that's me in a nutshell.
So you're in South Carolina,
Yes.
and you think we said you're about 5 hours away from me.
Yep. I'm in the upstate. So I'm right outside of Greenville.
Okay. Looking at the season so far for women's bodybuilding, what have you seen? What are your thoughts? What excites you?
I'm just excited. Like I look at things and I watch things, but I don't look at them like to compare myself to other
Mm-hmm.
people. I'm just trying to focus on me and what I can do and what my body can do.
Right.
And, but I do watch, as far as the pro shows and whatnot, I'm super excited about the Rising Phoenix. I'm super
Mm-hmm.
excited, about Olympia, of course. Um, and I keep an eye on some of the other shows just to watch because there are some of the pros that, I do really like and I do, I guess you would say,
Mm-hmm.
look up to, and would one day love to be on stage with some
Mm-hmm.
of them. But, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I think that, last year I was a little worried with,
Mm-hmm.
the direction of how bodybuilding was going. But I feel so far this year, I do feel positive about it. I feel like that there are more competitors showing up, at least that's from what I can see,
Right.
on social media. I know that it's not, bodybuilding's not anything like some of the other categories. Um, and I have seen, I've been kind of watching women's physique too, and I've seen it kind of taper off. So
Yeah.
I don't know if, if people are moving up more so to bodybuilding and,
Mm-hmm.
transition in that way. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, the fact of the matter is, it takes longer for women's bodybuilding and women's physique to get ready for a show.
Mhm.
And so to have a show hit in April, um, the Triple O Dynasty, the St. Louis Pro, uh, the Pittsburgh Pro for women's physique and women's bodybuilding, they probably need to start prep right after the Olympia, which
Mhm.
last year ended in November, and then now you're on prep through the holidays. But the strategy behind it is you qualify early. Now you can really take time to rest and make improvements, significant improvements as you get ready for the Olympia. So I guess it's the strategy of it. And speaking of strategy, what is your strategy as you're getting ready to go after your pro card this year?
Well, we decided so this off season was the leanest that I've been during an
Hmm.
off season.
Right.
We did, I bulked and put on a good bit of muscle last year. It was really hard for me to go straight from that bulk into a prep. So my body took longer than what we anticipated to kick it
Right.
into gear and to start, cutting. So definitely when I did nationals last year, I was not where I wanted to be, but I went ahead and did it because I needed the experience, because on the local level, there's not a lot of bodybuilders.
No.
So it was really good for me to be on a big stage like that and actually lay my eyes on other women that are in my category so that I could
Hmm.
see, okay, this is what's really expected. Because, too, I feel like there is, I mean, social media for the most part portrays women for what they look like, but I mean, you look at angles and you really don't know how tall they are or
Hmm.
all of that stuff. So it was good for me to be able to go and see, okay, this is what it is.
Right.
And I loved it. I'm glad that I did. I learned a lot. You know, I took a lot of information in, and I really think that we've been able to apply that this off season and going into
Mhm.
prep. We started prep at 20 weeks out, and now as of today, I'm 13 weeks out. And I mean, my coach and I are both very pleased and happy with where I'm
Mhm.
at and where I'm tracking. So I'm super excited to see, you know, what's going to come out after these next 13 weeks. So I mean, it's been all gas, no brakes. So even my training and stuff this go around has been
Mhm.
a lot more intense. So I've really enjoyed it. Like really enjoyed it.
And who's your coach?
Trey Hodge.
Okay.
I've been with him now 3 years.
Well, I should say Dr. Trey Hodge because he is a
Yes, Dr. Trey
chiropractor.
Hodge. Yes,
I
he
saw a
is.
video where he was he was cracking the back of a dog. I'm like, oh, okay. And I've seen it
Yes.
before, but I'm like, pretty significant. I think he has a fundraiser going on to try to get a special type wheelchair, I guess,
Yep.
uh, for the dog. So that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
He's great in the community, with
Hmm.
working with animals and I mean dogs especially, but I
Hmm.
mean he's a huge advocate, for them, and I mean he's great for the community
Right.
with all that and rehoming and yeah.
Yeah. What show are you getting ready for
I'm getting ready for North Americans in
in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? Yep.
hmm
And that is what day again?
August 30th.
August 30th. Which would you rather be in prep during the holidays or in prep during the summer?
The
Where
summer.
you're missing all of the summer vacations, you're missing spring break, Easter, things like that.
The summer.
Okay.
I think the summer. Just because I mean really my food really isn't that different.
Mhm.
Um, I stay I mean, I eat pretty much the same stuff year round. It's just my
Mhm.
proportion sizes that change. I mean, that's what I enjoy now, and I enjoy, eating the same stuff day in and day out. And I'll have, my cheat meal or whatnot, and that's really I'm good.
Mhm.
So it really I mean, at first, like with the holidays, my family was, you know, they were like, "Oh my gosh, why are you not eating? You
Mhm.
can't eat this. You can't." And I'm like, "No." I mean, it doesn't bother me. I've gotten used to, taking my food or either I'll eat before, we go to an
Mhm.
event or whatnot. And it really, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I feel like it bothers other people more than it does it does me.
Right.
Just because they don't understand it, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, I
That'll
think
be fun.
so far the summertime. I've enjoyed so far prepping this
What are
part of the
you
year.
what are you working to improve on to get your pro card to North Americans?
Conditioning, absolutely.
Okay.
I've grown my back, which my back needed to grow, my upper body needed to
Mhm.
grow.
Mhm.
Legs more so. I've got the quads. I've really worked on my hamstrings and
Mhm.
my glutes, that tie in back there.
Right.
But I mean, we're really honing in on the conditioning and stuff, and just making sure that everything's proportionate. And so yeah.
That seems to have been the buzzword this season. I keep hearing conditioning, conditioning. Uh,
hmm
and last year it was femininity. So
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how all this pans out. Um,
I think it's important to have both. I
mhm.
mean, it's you can be strong and muscular and
Right.
still be feminine. So, and that's really what I want to portray.
Right.
So yeah.
Exactly. Family support is critical. How has it been with the family being on prep? You have 4 kids, your husband, especially in your job. You know,
Yeah,
you have a strong support structure in place.
absolutely I do. My husband and I actually train together every day,
Mm-hmm.
unless he is out of town or something with work, or either our work schedules just don't vibe for that day. Typically, we train together 6 days a week, and we push each other, and like he eats what I eat. He just eats a bigger portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
And our kids, my oldest son will typically eat pretty much the same stuff that we eat.
Mm-hmm.
I keep different food in the house, for the
Right.
kids because I have younger ones that they don't want to eat chicken and sweet potatoes all the time, or fish and rice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I keep stuff for them, and it just, it was something whenever I started on this journey, it was something that I had to get used to. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now it doesn't bother me. I can have cookies and whatever here for them, and I'm fine. It doesn't bother me.
What's your
But yeah,
protein? What's your meat for this prep?
right now it's chicken and ground turkey. But
Okay.
I'm sure that that will, as the closer that we get, it'll probably turn into, tilapia or cod, and we'll lean
Mm-hmm.
it down even more. Yeah.
Now, does your husband compete as well, or he just works out with you?
He does not. He competed one time,
Uh-huh.
God, 12 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, I'm one and done. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like, he loves the working out part, he loves the growing part and the building part, but the posing and stuff is not for him.
Had a power surge, so hang on, ladies and gentlemen. See if I can get Jamie back. There you are.
You good?
You got me? Yeah, I had a power surge real quick. I guess it's getting ready to rain outside or something. But that's why we have surge protectors. So
Says Carolina
anyway, glad I got you
thunderstorms.
back. I'm like, what's
that's
going
what
on? So
that's what I turned my camera off so I wouldn't just sitting here
yeah,
awkwardly by myself.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna
But
turn that
I
off for a
think we're
second.
good now. Check my lights and stuff. Yeah, we're good now. That's the whole thing about going live versus pre-recorded. There's advantages and disadvantages of both,
Yeah.
But once you're live, hey, whatever happens, happens. But a good part about pre-recorded, you can go back and fix and edit and change. But that's just the way it is.
We'll just leave them guessing for a minute
There you
in
go. They're like, well,
in
what
the
happened?
blank space.
That's it. So I'm glad you came on. Excited for you. Getting ready for North Americans. For those that just coming on or may have missed what we were talking about. Last thing we left off, you used chicken and ground turkey.
Mhm.
How many meals a day?
Oh, and egg whites. I left that part
And
out.
egg whites. Okay, got you.
6 meals a day.
6 meals a day. And how long you been on
Yep.
prep so far?
Let's see. I've been on 7 weeks now.
Okay, and 8 left. So yeah,
No, no, no. I've got 13 left.
13 left. Okay,
Yeah, so we started at week 20. I had to count real
right.
quick. I'm like, wait a second, is my math is my math right? I was an English major, so like I'm good with the writing department, the math department, not so much. Like I'll sit at the counter and I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Okay,
Mhm.
what is it? Oh yeah. I have to count in my head or on my fingers still. So,
Right. So this is your first show of the year.
Yep.
If you don't get it at North Americans, will you do another show?
Possibly. It'll all
Okay.
depend on placement, how I do, judges' feedback.
Right.
I mean, if I'm close, then yeah. But if not, then we'll take it back to the drawing board.
What was your feedback at your last show?
Conditioning.
Okay.
It was conditioning, and then bringing up my back.
Got you.
Yeah.
What do you feel is your most prominent feature in your physique?
My legs.
Okay.
Hands down. Yeah. Yep. Especially my quads.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talk about the atmosphere, but specifically women's physique, and you talk about prize money, but also when you look on the amateur side, the Charlotte Pro, for example, you were there. We had what, one women's physique
on the pro side.
On the amateur side,
yeah. On the amateur side, no, there
there were no pros. Only amateurs
two.
at the Charlotte Pro.
Was there 3?
Yeah,
I think there ended up being 3.
Right. And when you look
but
at
that
that,
was it.
And then the same with the Pittsburgh Pro, and even as far with the Arnolds, I think there was 1.
Yeah.
How do you get women's physique and women's bodybuilding to show up at the amateur shows? Because I think that's more important, because that's how you grow the sport. You got to grow it from the bottom up. How do you get more women into women's physique and women's bodybuilding at the amateur level? Because if you guys don't compete, there are no pros, and there's nothing to grow into, and the numbers will always be down because you don't have anything in surplus. You're not growing.
Yeah. I think it's promoting.
Mm-hmm.
Like promoting the shows, promoting bodybuilding, promoting physique, just getting those categories out there, make it appealing for other women. I know that I have women all the time in the gym, come up and talk to me about what category I compete in. They're thinking about competing, where do they start, whatnot. And then, I would love to get to that level. I would love to be able, to be in that bodybuilding category. You've got the women out there interested in it, especially these younger girls now. There's so many, and it's males and females, but especially females. There's so many females, younger females in the gym now that actually want to build muscle. They want to put on muscle. It's not that I just want to be stick skinny. They actually want to have muscular curves and a physique. And, when they flex, they want you to be able to see their biceps. So I mean, you have the women that are interested in it. You've just got to you got to make it appealing to them, and you've also you got to advertise it more. You need to somehow market it and put it out there. And I don't think that that's done enough. There might be people that get upset about me saying that, but I know that there's one promoter particular here in South Carolina who does a fantastic job with promoting his shows, and he puts it out there. He puts himself out on social media. He makes the shows about the athletes, and I think that's big too. Athletes are going to show up at a show that they enjoy doing. If it's an atmosphere that they enjoy being in, then they're going to come back. They're going to tell their friends about it. They're going to tell, people that they meet that are potential competitors, hey, why don't you do this show? Because it was such a great experience for me. I mean, it's just like with anything else. It's, there's also a lot of that that's word of mouth.
And who's that promoter?
His name is Chris. He does the Upstate Classic.
Okay.
But he does an absolutely fantastic job. Like I cannot say enough nice things about him. He also works with the Elite Tanning, so he does all the tanning for North and South Carolina. But I mean, his shows they're top notch. They absolutely are. I mean, the other promoters are good too, but I mean, I'm partial to Chris too, because that was the first show that I did, and it was such a great experience. And because of that show is where I fell in love with the stage.
Right.
So, and I had planned on just doing one show. I'm like, I want to do it to prove to myself that I can actually do it. And I went from that show that first year, and I did 2 more shows my very first year. So, and it was really because of what a great experience he made it for his athletes, so it was a great first experience. It wasn't one where I was like, oh my gosh, that was awful. I don't want to do that again.
In the Carolina NPC, where are the best shows? South Carolina or North Carolina?
Oh,
because Charleston, South Carolina, you got the Junior USAs, right?
Yeah, which that one's a really good one.
That's a huge
That
one.
one's good.
A lot of pro cars were awarded. And then you got the Charlotte Pro-Am.
Yeah. Which that one's a good
Meadow
one.
Pro.
Now that one I have not been to. I've been to Junior USAs and I've been to Charlotte. And I think that both of those were done fantastically as well. So like the shows that I haven't been to, I can't really speak on. I know the state show, the North Carolina, South Carolina state show.
Yep.
It's a good one. It's a fun one to do.
That's the one in Shelby, right?
Yeah. Yep. And the theater that they have it at is a really cool. It's a really cool spot.
Yeah.
Yep. So
like
I mean it's yeah. I think overall in North and South Carolina, I think we're very fortunate. Just because I do think that they do a really good job. With the shows, it's just promoting it and getting it out there. That would be, if it was promoted more and that kind of thing, I think that would really help, build up interest and whatnot, especially like with the younger community that's coming up. So yeah.
What's been the negative comments you heard? And then to follow that up, how do we get women's physique and women's bodybuilders in the state of North Carolina and South Carolina to come out of the woodwork and compete? Because I know there's a lot of them out there, and it's a shame that they have to go out of state and travel to find that venue. But within the amateur shows, women's bodybuilding and women's physique is there.
Sorry, can you hear my dogs?
Yeah. What kind of dog is
I even have the door closed. I have 2 Weimaraners and a Frenchie.
Oh,
and there's somebody walking in front of our house. So that's
the Weimaraners, they're really active. Good looking dogs too.
Well, that's what ours are older now. Our male is 10 and then our female is 9. And you would think that they've calmed down some, but
Good stuff.
We always know when somebody's outside or when the wind blows.
That's a good thing though. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
So how do we pull out the women's physique and women's bodybuilding within the states of North Carolina and South Carolina? Because you got to recruit home first. I always tell myself that. I'm certainly trying to find them.
You do. I think also one of the things is, powerlifting is big, and powerlifting for women is big. And maybe it's talking to those females that are currently just powerlifting, because if you're powerlifting and whatnot, some of those physiques that come out of those powerlifters, holy shit. Pardon my language. But you've got that good, thick, dense muscle. And it,
And
I think, CrossFit's the same way. It would be pulling in the CrossFit girls and the powerlifting girls, and
we need to recruit them. So so real excited. North Americans, don't know if you'll do a follow-on show, just depending on the feedback, but it's exciting to see, watching where you were last year to this year. And as you said, you're coming out of your shell, so that's great. What do you do in South Carolina? Can you talk about your job?
Yeah, I can talk about it. I don't know that I want to put the company name out there.
Right.
But I work for a very large IT distributor. Okay. And what I do is I do contract negotiations with vendors. So I work with attorneys and vendors and legal and all that stuff all day.
Right.
But I enjoy it. I did sales. I did outside sales and inside sales for several years. And then now I've been in this current role for 6 years. And I mean, I enjoy it. So I enjoy the negotiating and stuff. so, so yeah,
Long term, are you
that's what I
looking
do.
in? That's great. Long term, are you looking into going into coaching yourself?
I've thought about it.
Hmm.
Maybe on down the road.
Right.
But for right now, because I have had several people ask me, will you train me? When are you
Mm,
going to do training? When are you going to do your, get your certificates, to train, whatever, whatnot. And it's something that I've really had to take a step back and think about it, because I do think it's something that I would enjoy.
hmm.
However, for me right now and where I'm trying to go personally with my goals and what I want to achieve,
Hmm.
I'm not going to do that right now just because
Hmm.
I don't want to make my outlet and what I enjoy doing a job.
Hmm.
At least not right now. So that's where I'm at because this is like the gym is my space. It's where I go to relieve stress
Right.
or if I'm sad or angry or whatever, or if it's just like I mean it's part of my daily routine. And it's something that I really enjoy. I enjoy doing it with my husband, and I just don't know like
Yeah.
for right now, I don't want to turn it into a job. No.
So you look at women's body, you look at more as an hobby because when you turn pro, right,
Yeah,
everything changes. Are you
right.
prepared for that? What's been your thought process on that? Because
Yeah,
when you turn pro and you get that pro card, brand new world.
yeah. And I am, I'm prepared for it, and my husband and I have talked about, what changes we'll need to make and all
Right.
that stuff. Um, and I do know, I mean, that it'll be a change. And, it would be a very welcome change.
Yeah.
But, for right now, that's what I'm doing is keeping those separate. But that's not to say in the future that it wouldn't be something. Um, you know,
Hmm.
we'll just have to see. I just take it day by day, week by week, and when that time
Yeah.
comes, when when I get my pro card,
Yes.
that
When.
it'll be the right time, and I'm one of those that believes that everything falls into place and it will work
Hmm.
out the way that it's supposed to. So there's no point in me worrying about it right now.
Nothing
I'll
you
deal
can
with it when it
control.
happens.
Exactly right.
No, and I'm not going to base my future waiting on it either. So I've got my head down and I'm working, and I've got, you know, I know where I want to be.
Right.
I've just got to take, we're just working up the stairwell to get there right now. So,
Yeah.
yep.
All right. So I'm gonna get you out of here on this question. Same question I asked Sherry Priami. Points, and when you become a pro, this will become very evident because everybody's trying to get to that Olympia stage. They
Hmm.
took away the points, and so now if you win a show, you're in the Olympia. What's your thoughts on that? Win and you're in. Should there be points? You've seen it all. You're watching it from the bottom rung of the ladder that you're climbing.
Hmm.
What do you see where it should go, where it's going? Do you like it? Do you love it?
I don't really have a solid opinion on it yet. I kind of want to see how
Mhm.
this year plays out for the
Right.
remainder of the year with it. Um,
As this is the second year without points. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and I do think that the women that have won so far, at least in bodybuilding, I think that they deserve to win.
Hmm.
Um, and then what happens if, with the point system? I mean, so far, I've been pleased with how it's going right now, but at the
Hmm.
same time, you've got it's not in my category, but in one of the other categories, there was an athlete that was in Olympia last year, and then this
Hmm.
year I think that she had to compete. She did 3 or 4 shows and finally won the other week.
Hmm.
Um, then if something like that happens to a lot of athletes, I mean that's a lot of money. So would the points be beneficial?
Right.
So I don't. I mean, so that's why I say like I really don't know. I don't have a solid opinion on it yet. I really want to see how the rest of the season plays out because I could see where both ways could be beneficial, but it depends on the individual. So as an overall whole, I don't know, but if you're the individual that wins that overall show, of course that's fantastic for
Hmm.
you. But
Yeah.
if you come in second place, third place, second place,
Yeah.
the points would be fantastic.
Right. And how many
So
shows
yeah,
is too many shows? It takes a toll on
yeah,
the body, takes a toll on the finances. And
yes.
so
And I
I
mean,
think it
if you're
definitely,
doing 4 or 5
mhm,
shows,
yeah,
and then you have let's say a 15-week break
hmm,
before Olympia, how tired's your body going to be?
yeah, exactly.
How well will it look on that Olympia stage?
And
You
that's the biggest thing.
yeah,
Your body stops responding. You've
yep,
gone too long in prep and you're good as you're going to get. And now your body's starting to act against you. So
yeah, yep,
it's going to be interesting. I think when and you're in is the right format because it definitely
hmm
separates the best. You get the best of the best. And I think
right.
it
Well, and
does
that's
discourage
who needs to
too
be
many
on the
shows.
stage.
Yeah.
That's who needs to be on the Olympia stage. That's what Olympia was created for, and that's who needs to be up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Jamie Hart getting ready for the North Americans. I'm gonna have you come back on. I can get you back on maybe July or
Okay.
so. Look at your schedule and let me
That
know.
works.
And we got
Okay.
to plan out this photo shoot before you go to North Americans as well.
Yes, I'm super
So we got to
excited
get
about
you an
it.
Amazon's Fitness magazine. You saw some of your photos. It's coming. So hey, come on out of that shell. Let's make a plan and do this photo shoot.
I am. I feel good. So I finally I feel like I'm who I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be, and it's up from here. Sky's the limit. So
Good
yeah, so
stuff.
I'm super excited. Yep.
Jamie Hart, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Coming up next week, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, you have August Burden. Hopefully I said that right. But she'll be on the show. I think she's NPC figure. She'll be joining me at 6:30 on the 5th of June. And then right after at 7:30, Santana Francisco. She's getting ready for her pro debut or pro show this year. So excited to talk to her. Make sure you go out on both of them's page to like and share their content. Subscribe to their Instagram and, of course, subscribe to their um, YouTube channels because that's what they get that following and build up. A lot of people didn't know about her, and then they start seeing the feed. She's just started her YouTube channel, Santana, that is. And the same thing with August, right? Birdman, same thing. She's a great friend of Amanda Amadover. Hopefully I said that right. And of course, Jess Falborn. And it was Jess Falborn who actually said, hey, Glenn, you need to check her out. So that's great stuff. So looking forward to talking to them next week. If you did not know, you can order Amazon's Fitness Magazine, all the latest issues to see all the latest articles right from the website. You click on issues and then just follow the prompts and order your magazine straight from the website. Um, and mix them, and you get that sent out to you. I do have some in stock, so you can order it from me as well. But as I always say, when you scan it, make sure you add your address so I can ship that out to you. January, Jessica Reyes Padilla. March issue, Teresa Mota. She's now retired, or is she? So you want to get that issue, make sure you read it, order it, and have it your own as a keepsake. And of course, subscribe to Amazon's fitmag.com on the website. And of course, the latest issue, the May issue featuring Teresa Avancic, winner of the Triple O Dynasty. She's on the cover or the cover model for the May issue. And you can order that as well. One thing, if you want to wonder how to support women's bodybuilders, support their business. So, Harlan Elite Customs, right? Harlan's Elite Customs, if the name sounds familiar, because that's Jeff Harlan, who is the fiance of Teresa Avancic. Reach out to them, talk to CJ Berger, tell them you want to get the Amazon tank, right? Or you want to get the Amazon or the Amazon hoodie, as well as the tanks, and have your own keepsake of Amazon's fitness magazine. It's not so much that you're supporting me, but that's a direct way that you can support Teresa Avancic. The same when you go with Nina Beans, right? Here's her ad that's in the Amazon's fitness magazine, and yournuts.com, and you can go on the website and order her. She was on last week. Support her business. And that's one of the biggest ways that you can support women's bodybuilders is support their business. They may have a service that you need that you would want to use. And of course, this weekend, Nina Beans will be at the Atlanta Fest tomorrow. And then, of course, we want to talk about Wanderlust Travels. I'm going to have her back on, Marita back on. She's a nurse, and she has a service that everybody's going to need, a travel agency. You're trying to travel to all these shows, go to Wanderlust Travels, and we'll get that on for you next week so we can talk about it. But if you go to the Amazon's Fitness Magazine website, and of course, you see all these ads in the magazine as well. If you want to become an ad sponsor, reach out and let me know. And you can get your ad in Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Great show tonight. Again, earlier show, Sherry Priami is doing the Portugal Pro. Jamie Hart is getting ready for the North Americans to get her pro card. Make sure you guys join me next week. As I always say, thanks for all the new sponsors to the website, AmazonFitMag.com. And, of course, all the new followers to the YouTube channel, Amazon's Fitness Magazine. And make sure you can subscribe to the newsletter that my art director, Michael Young, has been putting out, doing some great work. He does all the behind the scenes, if you will, putting together the magazine once we do all the shooting and get all the photos in, and as well as putting all the ads together. And it's a great product. A lot of thanks for all the response for those that have reached back and said, hey, love the magazine, who have ordered it. And it's a great way you can support the Amazons that are bikini wellness, figure fitness, women's physique, and women's bodybuilding. Coming up also, travel notice. I will be at the Atlanta Pro. So if you're wanting to do your photo shoot or book a shoot to be in the next issue of Amazon's Fitness Magazine at the time of the Atlanta Pro, which is in July. So this will be for the September issue. But of course, reach out to me and let me know. But I will be at the Atlanta Pro. So that's the Linda Murray Atlanta Pro. Amazon's Fitness Magazine will be there. So, as I always say, subscribe to Amazon's Fit Magazine, Amazon'sFitMag.com. Celebrate the female physique. And I will see you guys next week, always doing ongoing bookings. So you may see some more shows pop up between now and next Wednesday. So looking forward to seeing everybody, talking to everybody. And again, thanks. I'm off to Charlotte tomorrow, where I'm going to check in with Aesthetics Massage. And, of course, I'll be doing a photo shoot with Melissa Guerrero, who you saw on Wednesday night, now has a new coach. So excited about that as she is getting ready for the Atlanta Pro with a new coach. So I can't wait to see 8 weeks out what her physique is going to look like. Until then, I will see you